Hello guys, here with a new video for the channel. I hope you like it, and if you like it, don't forget to leave your powerful like Supreme God level, comment, and subscribe. Now without further ado, get comfortable. Let's begin. The first existence of the whole place, Myuki would begin to devour millions of souls, without Daishinkan noticing. However, Daishinkan was very happy since his creator had returned after having spent millions of years. I don't understand why my lady doesn't want me to report on her return, but she must have her reasons, although I would love to inform everyone about her great return. Meanwhile, in Universe 14, we can observe a Kakarot as he walked all over the battlefield, but after several steps, he had fallen to the ground with serious injuries, since his entire body, and even his internal system, was completely destroyed by the blows of both gods. But the real reason was the price to pay for the Hyper Kaioken, which required an amazing endurance to be able to maintain the technique. My body hurts too much. I don't know how to recover. But by his mind, hundreds of memories of his father's abilities, it could be observed that's right, Keiga, he had not left his son helpless, since he had transmitted to him all the abilities that he had created after having lived for millions of years. So Kakarot's entire body would be enveloped in a great cloud of energy. While his entire body healed at an incredible speed, his internal energy system began to transport much more energy. But it did not cause any harm to Kakarot, since everything was restoring every part of his veins that were destroyed. Really, thank you very much, Dad. Every day I'm more prepared, but I have to become much more powerful to defeat the new enemies. So after about 2 months passed, in which Kakarot had completely recovered, but the power he had obtained after having recovered was a complete outrage. Since this time, his base state, the one very familiar to the Hyper Kaioken that he had used against both gods, which even left him surprised to the same. Wow, this is amazing! I didn't think I'd be able to possess all this power. I have to train to fight with the other gods. Kakarot would begin to meditate since he had enough knowledge to be able to increase his power without having battles. He only maintained battles to have a better experience against his other enemies. Meanwhile, Myuki had been able to collect millions of souls, so his body had recovered almost completely. So Myuki would try to stand up, but to his surprise, at the moment of standing up, he would fall sharply to the ground, vomiting too much blood, while his entire internal system went out of control. That's right, his own body was rejecting all the power that had been eaten from every soul. No! My power is gone again! Damn it! What happened? I was able to absorb much more power in the past. But Keiga appeared in front of Myuki in her spiritual form. It's a pity that the little Zen I have granted him in essence about every living being, and with this, no being will be able to absorb his soul. Only thought about the gods, since mortals, they wouldn't be able to dominate him. But it's a surprise what you've done. You bastard. How could you even see the future? How did you know I was going to feed on the power of hundreds of souls? From the moment when you refused to form a descent in my image and likeness, I knew what your true purpose was. Myuki would pounce against Keiga, but he himself would disappear as he was only a spectral form. Myuki would fall to the ground, not being able to do anything. You're lucky that to this day is not the end of your life, but when that warrior's in front of you, you'll feel the real terror. I'm not afraid of anyone. I was able to beat you. There's no being more powerful than you, so don't brag. I don't care if you believe me or not. I'm just informing you, so you better start training cleanly. That essence would spread throughout the kingdom of the All, while Myuki was very upset by the humiliation that Keiga had given her. I promise that I'll end every hope you have. You'll not be able to do anything against my queen, let alone come back to life. Returning to Universe 14, Kakarot was ready to set off towards Universe 15, so he would immediately start moving all over the place at amazing speeds, all over outer space, while saying, let's hope this god is much more friendly, since I don't want to continue ending those lives of those insects. I just want to exterminate the beings of the kingdom of the whole. Kakarot would arrive to where the powerful god was, but unlike the power of the previous 3 gods, and power that emanated that goddess, it was very tiny, which even made that goddess blush a little. I'm so sorry. I don't think to have 90 of views today. Don't worry, but are you really a goddess of destruction? That's right, sir, I'm a goddess of destruction. Even if my power's not so great, I always try to strive to get to survive from the Heavenly Four. Four Celestials? Who are they? When they pass by, please be quiet or they'll end my life. The day had passed quickly, so by nightfall both were making their way towards Neen's palace. However, one of the four Celestials would appear in front of Kakarot. Kakarot, get out of here! Thanks to you, I was able to realize the value of life, as well as how much I'm worth. I plan to give my life for you. Get out! Don't say stupid things, Neen. This damn talker, he's not even the chosen one, so his power must be mediocre. The Celestial had rushed against Kakarot, being useless, since as it were a hologram, Kakarot had disappeared, appearing on his back so a great terror could be observed on the Celestial's face, since with that movement, he had finished with dozens of gods, and these died without even knowing that he had hit them. Kakarot, without making a single movement, was able to release an incredible pressure, with which he would leave the Celestial unable to move. But to everyone's surprise, the Celestial was very determined. He was able to get rid of the pressure while rising to the top of Neen's planet, and his power did not stop growing, as even this time it seemed to be an unlimited power. Where are you getting so much power from? This isn't a power that belongs to him. But Kakarot, being the descendant of Kaga, the first being of the multiverse, with his great visual power was able to observe as the energy of all the planets that were around him began to enter his entire body. That's right, this Celestial fed on the power of the celestial bodies of the entire universe, so instantly, like a flash, he was able to deliver a powerful blow to Kakarot's stomach. This happens to you for underestimating me. So you are the damn guy who has ended the life of 3 supreme gods. But you are nothing more than a simple worm. Kakarot being hit with all that power was not being prepared. He had fallen to the ground with a big wound, so the Celestial would start laughing. But Kakarot's whole body would start to heal quickly, and the confidence of that Celestial would lead him to ruin. Because instantly Kakarot would stand up, and a big sky-colored light had been able to pass through everything around him. That's right, Kakarot was able to reach the Super Saiyan Blue, but the power was completely incredible. But the heavenly being, confident that he possessed all the power of the Universe 15, would try to start to wear down his energy, as he would throw great attacks, not caring about the power drain, which Kakarot was completely analyzing. It's time! I have a great idea! Kakarot began to expel his power, and from his entire body, a dark aura was able to cover the entire planet of Neen. So the Celestial, at the time of trying to absorb much more power, it was impossible for him, because that dark energy did not allow him to absorb energy, but he felt more panic when he realized that Kakarot was approaching him, and while his power was growing much more. This is a real power, which I don't need from beings or planets, and it doesn't matter that I get caught in a place. My power's real, not like yours. Neen was surprised to witness how Kakarot had been able to blend a celestial, beings that were not even above the power of an angel. I can't believe it! The power that Kakarot possesses is amazing! I want to be like him. Kakarot would begin to massacre his enemies, since on this occasion, the Celestial, having wasted so much energy, was not even able to defend himself from all the blows that Kakarot gave him. The Celestial would fall to the ground with surprising power, while large amounts of blood would come out of his entire body, since he wasn't able to stand. This isn't what's supposed to go out like this. I'm one of the 4 Celestials. I can't lose to pathetic mortal. That Celestial would try to stand up, but his whole body was completely shattered. Since Kakarot, despite causing him great physical damage, the most serious thing was all the internal damage that he had generated. That Celestial, since every vein of energy was sealed, and that's why he wasn't able to release much more power. It's time to end your life. I don't like to end someone as weak as you, but you'll be a burden in the future, so I plan to eradicate you. That Celestial wasn't able to do anything, would accept his fate, so Kakarot, as if he were a monster, would tear out his heart and subsequently, with a great burst of energy, was able to pulverize it completely. Kakarot, is that really you? Of course, Neen. Don't worry, but I won't allow any god or anyone to be able to hurt you. I plan to protect you with my life. I promise to become more powerful so I won't be a burden to you. Don't worry, Neen. You're not a bother, but I have to leave now as I want to fight with the last 2 supreme gods. Please, Kakarot, don't kill the last two gods, as they are from a pure heart. Just try to talk to them, or take me with you, please. Okay, Nin, we'll go together so we could create an alliance anyway. I have to find that dam. The latter would only think, so instantly at a great speed they began to leave all over space, being able to quickly take to Universe 16, in which Kakarot was surprised to observe a god since he had the appearance of a simple child. Have we come to the right place? I can't believe the god of Universe 16's a boy. The guy named Bastion with a great blow was able to send Kakarot to fly, since it had seemed to him a lack of respect. Kakarot will fall to the ground, and at the moment, he was dragged down a few mountains due to the power of Bastion's blow. Nin, how long has it been since we saw each other? I don't know if you're with this bastard because of your will, but I plan to end his life because of that lack of respect for my person. Nin, before being able to say anything, Bastion had disappeared, starting to give an authentic beating to Kakarot, who was not able to observe all the attacks since out of 10 that he was able to observe, the god connected 30 to him. That's right, Goku was only able to observe a small part of all the blows that were being given to him, because the speed of the enemy was overwhelming. Kakarot, in a lucky move, was able to deal him a big blow, which made him fall to the ground, but in a single blow, was able to even make him vomit large amounts of blood. I could tell that this god has great physical power and incredible speed, but his weak point is endurance, because in one blow, I was able to do a great damage to him. Yeah, damn, that hurt me too much. I won't forgive you, even if you beg for your life. The angry god had launched himself against Kakarot, but on this occasion, although Kakarot was still at a disadvantage, he was able to exchange several blows, which at every moment caused much more damage to the little god. I can't believe it! Kakarot will be able to beat the lightning god, which he was able to beat any of us because of his great speed. Both warriors were able to deal damage to themselves a big blow at the same time, with which both fell to the ground out of combat, Kakarot because he had received millions of blows, while Bastion had received several blows, but out of an overwhelming power, returning to the kingdom of the whole, Myuki had been able to stand up again, since his body had rejected all the absorbed energy, so he would be called Daishaken. Dai, isn't there somewhere where I can be able to fully recover?
Of course, if my lady. I'll take her to one of the heavenly rooms. Her regenerative power is amazing.
Both warriors entered that dimension, in which Myuki had the intention of leaving with a much greater power than it had in the past. I swear that I'll finish with that warrior that you've created. The only creation that can exist is Zeno-Sama and Daishaken. Myuki, in the same way, would begin to channel a large part of his own energy, since Kaga had restricted the absorption of the power of the other beings, or even planets, so he had to rise on his own. Meanwhile, in Universe 15, the goddess Nin was granting a little of her power to both warriors, because both had been very badly injured. So after a few hours, Bastion was first to wake up, which would point with a large sphere of energy towards Kakarot.
I can't believe I fell at the hands of this miserable worm. Now if I plan to end his miserable life.
Nin, realizing this with his maximum speed, would move, but it would be useless since the distance at which he was considerable. However, the sphere of energy being about to collide with Kakarot would disintegrate, and from his own aura a huge beast would form. Without Bastion being able to see something, he would be thrown to the ground with one claw, causing a great uproar, due to the power of that blow. What the hell is that? How has Kakarot been able to react if he's out of combat? But an incredible negative aura would cover Kakarot's entire body, from which his hair shakes from one side to the other, which made him look even more imposing. Your heart doesn't possess evil like the other gods, but you're a scum trying to end my life without me being able to defend myself.
That hurt me too much. How do you have all that power?
It's not time to reveal my biggest secret to you, but I'll ask you once. Do you want to join us?
I don't know what you mean by joining you guys. What's your plan? What do they intend to do? Since if they want to eliminate Zeno-Sama, of course I'll join. But that's impossible.
You're not entirely wrong, since we really plan to fight the king of all, with the one who calls himself his assistant priest. Bastion wouldn't be surprised because what he had said earlier, he had said in the form of mockery, not in a literal way. Bastion, he's been able to annihilate one of the four Celestials, the beings which have even humiliated us for millions of years. but we want to fight against Zeno-Sama.
I can't believe what you're telling me, but of course count on me.
However, all over the place, the powerful warrior of dark energy would begin to appear. His negative power was so great that he was able to even make Kakarot panic, since for the first time he felt like the pressure of a single warrior was able to paralyze him.
Wow, how much are they not able to move that simple pressure? Don't make me laugh. I thought they were much more powerful than that.
Kakarot, using an energy sword, was able to cut his leg a little, and due to the pain stimulus, he was able to move and stand in front of this imposing warrior. But if it's Shirou, the treacherous demon and the most powerful god of all universes, even the celestial ones avoid conflicts with Shirou.
So long no see, you goddess of Universe 14 Nin. I don't know what they want to do with this Saiyan, but if he's been able to beat up other companions, it's because he possesses great power.
The warrior, no matter how much his negative energy is, does not exude any murderous intention as far as I can tell. He only wishes to measure my powers. Kakarot, without trusting himself, would access the Super Saiyan maximum power. But because of Bastion had caused him multiple injuries, he had been able to obtain a great Zenkai, which even his speed on this occasion was able to greatly increase.
Wow, you've been able to free yourself from my pressure, and your power is now low at all. You leave me amazed.
Kakarot, being about to say something, would be thrown with a great pressure towards an uninhabited planet, which at the moment of impact would be destroyed by its entirety. But that demon with an unnatural speed would begin to massacre Kakarot, which, with even of his blows, felt like even his life was taken away. So he would try to defend himself, but even his speed was much higher than the speed of Bastion.
Damn it, I'm not able to get rid of his punches. They do incredible damage to me. I don't think I'll be able to withstand that long if I keep getting his punches.
Kakarot would be sent flying back towards some rocks, but due to the power of the blow, he would be dragged a few meters back. So Shirou would be prostrated in the air.
I'm surprised at the stamina you possess, but you won't be able to do anything against me since I'm only using 40% of my power. I can't believe it. Shirou's power was said to be unlimited, but watching him fight in front of me, I'm not able to believe all the power he possesses.
I can't believe Kakarot's not able to do anything against him. He thought that with the power he possessed, no god was able to face him. Shirou would begin to approach to where Kakarot was. He had even returned to his base state, so all his power had decreased in a great way. But at the moment in which Shirou would throw multiple spheres of energy at him to knock him out of combat, to everyone's surprise, Kakarot was able to dodge each of the spheres with incomparable precision. So the moment Kakarot opened his eyes, a great pressure would fall on everyone present, while his eyes would turn a silvery.
What's that power? Weren't you all using your power? Don't underestimate me.
But Kakarot said absolutely nothing because at the moment his body would continue to release much more energy. That's right, Kakarot had reached the perfect Ultra Instinct to its maximum power because he was the son of the powerful god Kaga, the first god of everything existing. And Kakarot, being his pure son, his creation, possessed an incredible level of learning. At the moment, as if it were a glow, a great light would rise all over the place, while Kakarot could be observed as his hair changed to a silver color, which it even made him observe much more dangerous and intimidating. What happened to Kakarot? It's the first time I've seen that transformation.
I don't know what kind of transformation it is, but the pressure it's exuding is amazing. I feel how the pressure of all of them collide and it doesn't bend. This is a bit strange. My pressure is capable of bending any warrior, even the Heavenly Four, but the pressure if that warrior exudes is amazing.
Kakarot would begin to approach Shirou, who would also do the same, so both warriors, when facing each other, Shirou would throw a blow to him. But to surprise, Kakarot this time was able to dodge his fist. But at the moment, Shirou would be sent flying with his incredible power, which after millions of years would make him vomit some blood, which left him very surprised.
How great that you're a Saiyan! I want you to give me the battle I've always wanted.
Both warriors began to exchange millions of blows, but the battle this time was very balanced. While Shirou began to increase his power little by little, so as not to fall behind the power of Kakarot. Meanwhile, in the Kingdom of the Whole, Myuki would begin to deal with each of his wounds with his own power, with which this time he didn't cause any damage, as there was no external power.
I hope you're ready, Kaga.
So you'll only be able to watch as I end up with all your hope, damn it. From the moment, Zeno-Sama would appear in front of Myuki. From what Dai has informed me, you're my creator, but I want to play with you. It's not time, as I'm still recovering from my injuries, but rest assured that in a very short time, you'll have the best game of your life. Are you serious about that? In that case, I'll be looking forward to that game very much. The moment Zeno-Sama left, Myuki's gaze would completely change. Damn dwarf, good for nothing. Just let me recover completely. Luckily, you haven't been able to evolve yet, so absorbing you shouldn't be a problem.
My lady, how are you feeling? Is there anything I can help you with?
No, Daishenkin, don't worry. I have to do this by myself, as I'm able to heal my internal energy, but I won't appreciate this dimension.
Don't worry, my lady. It's my duty as your creation. I will give you my life for you.
Daishenkin would also leave that room, so Myuki, being mostly recovered, would begin to struggle with herself within that dimension. I have to be prepared since Keiga was much more agile than me on the battlefield, and I guess your son has that quality. I have to train my movements. Myuki would continue with his great recovery, as with his great training. Meanwhile, returning to the battlefield, both warriors were still very evenly matched, but their battle this time would draw the attention of the deities of the Kingdom of the Whole.
What's going on in Universe 15? Why haven't the four Celestials intervened?
Daishenkin would realize how the struggle of both subjects, he was able to overcome the power of the four Celestials with great ease.
This can't be happening, since two gods can't fight each other, so for that very reason we'll end up with Universe 15.
But Daishenkin, in a quick inspection of all the 8 universes, had noticed as several of his gods had died, so Furious would inform the king of all, Zeno-Sama.
Great Zeno-Sama, you should eliminate the universes from 13 to 18, so that they don't cause problems, since I'm sure a warrior occurring among themselves.
I can't accept this, so I plan to destroy all these 6 universes completely. Zeno-Sama would begin to eliminate every universe that did not have the presence of his god of destruction, and this was noticed by Nin, who would quickly get in the middle of both warriors.
Nin, don't interfere. I don't plan to end the life of this great warrior, but I want to test the limit of his power.
No, it's not time for this. The useless Zeno-Sama has eliminated the universes from 13 to 18 apparently, so we have to get out of here, or we'll die. Shirou and Kakarot likewise began to concentrate, feeling how millions of lives were disappearing quickly. So Kakarot, with the help of his teleportation, would try to leave for Universe 7, but it would be impossible for him. Instantly, a great white light would envelop everyone present. However, Shirou, along with Kakarot, would release all their power, but it was almost impossible for them to be able to withstand the energy of a king of all. But fortunately, they were able to create a dimensional hole, being sent to Universe 6, but Shirou and Kakarot were in terrible condition, using their own bodies so that Nin and Bastion were not affected by the power of a king at all. When they arrived in Universe 6, if it were a meteorite, all the warriors collided strongly with a planet, of which Nin and Bastion were only with several scratches, nothing serious, unlike Shirou and Kakarot, with which their bodies even seemed that they would collapse. Kakarot would return to his base state, but at the moment hundreds of lightning were scattered all over his body. So it is, the power beyond a god and enduring Zeno-Sama's ability almost ended his life. Returning to the Kingdom of the Whole,
apparently all those bastards have died. Now there are only 12 weakest and most obedient gods.
Now if we have already got rid of those scum, I hope that now everything they'll have is great prosperity. Both deities would not give it of great importance, without knowing that their greatest rival and even Zeno-Sama's brother was in Universe 6, preparing for the reunion with his brother. While Myuki was also trying to recover in full, Bastion, with his great power, was able to put a powerful barrier in one of the planets of Universe 6 so everyone would rest until they completely recovered.
Nin, you like me are feeling fine. Wait a few hours, we'll be 100%, but I don't know how long it'll take for both of them to recover.
I'm sure they'll both come back quickly with their power being much greater than it is now. Zeno-Sama, I hope you're ready for the day of your death. The powerful god Bastion had been able to create that powerful barrier, but with the power that it had created, he had caught the attention of the god of that universe, who had quickly communicated with his angel.
Hey Fords, is that the power of another god of destruction?
This can't be, since when can another god who doesn't belong in his universe invade our universe? Mr. Champa, that is forbidden, but there must be a good reason, so it will be better to leave with the god who has visited our universe. Both deities quickly went to the place where they felt the power of the god Bastion, but when they reached the atmosphere of the planet, they weren't able to enter due to the powerful barrier that Bastion had placed on the planet. Champa would use the power of destruction, but he was surprised to realize how that barrier had received absolutely no damage. But what the hell is that barrier made of? I have to hit her directly with the power of destruction and nothing happened. Forwards, destroy her. As you command, my lord. Vados, despite being a woman and being in the ranking of the most powerful angels, was surprised to realize how despite using a large part of her power, she wasn't able to do anything against that barrier. This can't be true. I've used a lot of my power, but nothing seems to have happened to him. Instantly from a portal, Bastion could be observed. Along with Neen, both deities were surprised to realize how two gods were in their universe. But these gods were known to be able to not need angels, to their power to be so great. But if it's Bastion-sama and Neen-sama, tell me, how can we help you? I understand that if you're considered supreme gods or also celestial gods, but despite your position, you cannot invade another universe without having consequences. A great pressure would fall on the body of both deities, which fell to the ground, forming a large crater. But at the moment, Neen would place his hand on Bastion's shoulder so that he calms down. No, Neen, it makes me angry that these damn gods are so arrogant. Despite being so weak, I want to end their lives. But we can't do it, because if another god dies, Daisheki will start to suspect we have to stay low profile, while Shirou and Kakarot make a full recovery. Bastion would decrease all his pressure, with which he was able to both deities be able to move freely. I ask for an apology, only that we have a few problems in our universes, and through a dimensional hole we have fallen into your universe. Don't worry, Bastion-sama. You guys can stay as long as you want in my universe. It's your universe. I appreciate your hospitality, but when we have solved what has happened, we will leave for our universes. I hope you don't mind. I understand, Neen-sama, and I repeat, there's no problem whatsoever. Both deities would leave, but Vados, she would be a little intrigued by everything that had happened. Meanwhile, in the Kingdom of the All, Myuki had been able to heal all her wounds in full. Finally, damn it! I've finally been able to heal these damn wounds. It's time to take over the power of that damn dwarf. Myuki would communicate with Zeno-sama mentally, so the King of All would come to his call quickly. Myuki-sama, I've arrived! Where are you? What is the game you have in mind? But from his back, hundreds of golden threads were able to completely neutralize him. It's a pity that this is the best of the games for me, but not for you, since you will become part of my... Why did you say? I don't understand. I thought we were going to play. Not that you would do this. Your useless mind doesn't fully understand it, but it doesn't matter. Your power will now be mine, and with that, you will be able to help me with my power will rise in an incredible way. Myuki would begin to absorb all the power of Zeno-sama, so Zeno-sama would begin to feel an incredible pain. His screams were evident, but in that dimension, nothing and no one was able to help him. While Myuki was nourishing himself with all the power of Zeno-sama, but as surprising as it may seem, when Myuki was nourishing himself with all the power of Zeno-sama, a very ancient seal in the same body had been activated. That's right, a seal from Keiga, which was able to, for Zeno-sama, to access his combat form when his essence feels in danger, so all the power that Myuki had absorbed would be taken away from him, and with one mighty blow, had sent Myuki flying. Damn, I can't believe you call yourself my creator. You've tried to end my life. Now I'll end you myself, damn it. Furious, Myuki would stand up while releasing all her power in a surprising way. So instantly, both launched themselves against the other, but the difference was obvious, because even though Zeno-sama possessed so much more power, Myuki was still a little weakened. Zeno-sama did not know how to fight, so it was very difficult for her to keep up with Myuki, who was in every exchange of blows, tried to knock him out of combat, to be able to absorb him calmly. However, Zeno-sama didn't allow it. Damn garbage, you have to bow down to me. I'm your creator. I'm your queen. So you let yourself be absorbed once and for all. Now, I'm not going to give my life without fighting, so I'm going to die fighting. I won't be a part of you. In that case, it will be much worse for you, since I don't want you to suffer, but apparently you have set your heart on having a painful death. Myuki, with much more aggression and power, would begin to massacre Zeno-Sama. That's right, on this occasion, although Zeno-Sama threw millions of spheres of energy against Myuki, she dodged them without any difficulty, because she had great control of the battlefield, something very different from Zeno-Sama. So at the moment, Myuki was able to grant him a powerful blow which made him fall to the ground very badly injured. Zeno-Sama, with everything his power, he would try to stand up, but it was impossible for him since large amounts of blood were spreading all over his body. So Myuki was starting to get closer, as if this was a warrior at the top of everything. But she was, since even the king of everything was not able to do anything against her. I didn't want you to suffer, but since you have insisted in not following my orders, I've had no other choice. Now you'll be part of my... Myuki on this occasion would begin to absorb a power of Zeno-Sama in its entirety. That's right, Zeno-Sama, not having energy, was no longer able to defend himself. He just felt like his life was completely taken away. So after several days, Myuki was able to absorb it completely. However, it was costing him to be able to assimilate all the power of Zeno-Sama, since in the same way, Zeno-Sama possessed a little of the power of Keiga. So Myuki would start with his great meditation. When I finish assimilating all this power, I'll be able to absorb the useless Daishinken, and I'll be ready to finish that damn good-for-nothing creation of Keiga. Myuki would begin with his assimilation, being able to make all of his sea of energy expand much more, and even the veins of his entire body began to assimilate all the power of Zeno-Sama. Meanwhile, in Universe 6, a few months had already passed in the same way, in which both warriors had awakened, but their internal system was completely shattered, since being able to withstand the power of a king at all, it was incredible. Damn it! Getting my energy flow back will take me about 6 months. I don't have all that kind of time to recover. Why don't you have that time? Do you have to do something? I feel that you guys deserve me to tell you the truth about my origin, about Zeno-Sama, about this whole multiverse, so I will. Kakarot would begin to tell how he was created, as he was the younger brother of Zeno-Sama, but he possessed the prowess on the battlefield, but the one who called herself Myuki, one of the first creations, betrayed its creator, so he'd been wandering for millions of years. So, for that reason, your power is incredible despite being only mortal. I knew that you weren't an ordinary warrior, since even geniuses aren't able to advance at that speed. But I have to have enough power for when Myuki of the face. I feel that that'll be very shortly.
Kakarot-sama, there's this place called the Heavenly Water, but the palace is not so far away that even the god or an angel takes about 1 month to reach that place.
But it is said that the tests to be able to drink the heavenly water are too many, although of course the legends say that it releases your power, and if your internal system's destroyed, it's able to restore it completely and becoming much more resistant. And with that, what you said is enough. If you wish to stay in this place, I'll understand since this trip is only mine. Neen would at once place her hand on Kakarot's shoulder. You are not alone, Kakarot. I don't know about my other companions, but for my part, I plan to accompany you and do everything possible to make it go well.
To know the Heavenly Water. What fun. Of course, count on me.
My condition at the moment is unfortunate, but of course you can count on me. I have already lived for many years. I want to know if that heavenly water is a myth or reality. All the warriors began to move quickly through each of the 12 universes so that they had arrived in a few minutes. That's right, but instantly they reached the edge of Universe 12.
From now on, our real journey begins.
This was previously the limit of the 18 universes, but it remains the same. All the warriors entered that empty space, so instantly they began to move at amazing speeds. Meanwhile, in the Kingdom of the Whole, Myuki had been able to master the power of Zeno-Sama to 70%, so at that moment he would come out of that dimension, observing Daishinken. Myuki was quickly going with the intention of putting him out of combat to absorb him. But Daishinken would notice his mistress, while she had a very serious.
It is my joy, my lady, that you have awakened, and the great Zeno-Sama disappeared. Well, I have been able to feel how the power became gigantic. At the same time, it became tiny, at times even surpassing the power of the great Zeno-Sama.
So it is all true. That damn Keiga worm. I really leave his successor. I don't plan on being able to absorb Daishinken, since he currently serves me, being more alive than being set apart of mine.
My lady, with the disappearance of the king of everything, I'm sure it has to do with that gigantic power. So you're left to the mandate of the 12 universes.
In that case, I want and arrange all the power of the gods and angels be with their guard up, since a warrior like the one you define is definitely a powerful warrior. We cannot be with our guard down.
As you order, my lady. At this very moment, I'll communicate with all the gods and angels.
Daishaken at the moment would communicate with each god and angel, being able to provide them with the information required, so that they are able to meet the expectations of Myuki. I have to have the whole divine world on alert, because if that Saiyan comes from behind, I'm sure he'll be able to do to me terrible harm. Meanwhile, the warriors would continue approaching that place, but no matter how much they advanced, it seemed to have no limit, so they had stopped for a moment. My body's grieving since Zeno-Sama is trying to race us. Let's slow down a little. Kakarot, don't worry. I can help you because if we want to stop Myuki, we must make an effort. This was how each god on this occasion were able to help out Kakarot, while Myuki creating an army with the new power he had obtained. What will happen next? Find out in the next chapter. Well guys, this is all for today's chapter. I hope you liked it and it was to your liking. Now don't forget to leave your powerful like Supreme God level, comment and subscribe. Now without further ado, see you in a new video. Until next time.